Police were called after some customers started fighting over toilet paper and water.
It's pretty scary, isn't it? The scary part is it's all real news coverage that I pulled off YouTube to compile that intro. So while the world is reacting to a pandemic that seems to have everything on hold, you can't help but think the worst. What's going to happen? Am I going to have a job in 2 weeks? Is the economy going to go into a recession? And it's really easy to harness these negative emotions and feelings, and you start to feel like one of the musicians on the Titanic as it's going down. But thinking that way doesn't really help, and you have to be optimistic. Recently, I saw news coverage on how the people in Italy are dealing with this lockdown, and they're entertaining each other by playing music on their balconies. This got me thinking about the power of music and how effective it is on our psyche. I started to think about which musicians have historically brought out happiness in large groups of people. And before I knew it, Bob Marley showed up on my shuffle in my iTunes account. One of his beliefs was that you can cure negativity by injecting it with music and love. If you listen to the first line of Three Little Birds, that says it all. For this week's video, I'd like to showcase 3 Bob Marley songs that have excellent guitar work and that send messages that are relatable to the events that are going on lately. Stick around while we find out why Bob Marley is more relatable today than ever before. What's up, YouTube? This is Charlie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a place for guitar nerds and music enthusiasts of all kinds. I typically demo and review all kinds of guitar-related equipment and gear, and I upload a new video every week. If you hit that bell notification symbol below, you'll be notified of all future content. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe, and share. Waiting in Vain is a simple song that follows a straight-ahead reggae beat with minimal chord changes. This song is in the key of A flat, and it comes in around 80 beats per minute. This song is off the 1977 Exodus album and features Al Anderson and Junior Marvin on guitar. At 1 minute and 48 seconds, there's a quick lead run that showcases some great guitar work. Within this lead example is an instantly recognizable pentatonic lick. Sound familiar? It's taken out of the first position pentatonic. Essentially, the idea that goes into this exercise is you're always one note ahead of yourself. You can also try this lick going linearly up the scale pattern. So if you want to start on your first scale pattern, and you want to go up to maybe the third, which would be up here, you can do something like this. Let's check out the entire lead section that showcases this technique off the 1977 track Waiting in Vain by Bob Marley and the Wailers. The song Three Little Birds is a very simple track that sends a very positive message. If you saw the movie I Am Legend, there's a recurring theme throughout it, and this song sits in the middle of it. In the verse section of this song, Al Anderson employs a technique that's reminiscent of something Reggie Young would have played, and I wanted to point this out to you guys. So while the rhythm guitar is just going between the A and the D chords, Al Anderson is actually doing something that sort of arpeggiates what's going on. So really what he's doing is backing up the chords with a melody, and it goes something like this. So that part alone is so important because although it's sort of buried underneath the vocal, it really emphasizes the melody. After the verse section, there's a quick pentatonic run that lifts up the song as it moves into the chorus section. And it sounds something like this. So let's take a minute and check out how the verse section of the melody intertwines with the rest of the song and how he sort of builds the track around this melody.
Rise up this morning, out with the rising sun. Three little birds beside my doorstep, singing sweet song, a melody pure and true, saying, "This is my message to you." Singing, "Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright."
The last song that I want to look at with you guys is the song No Woman, No Cry. To me, this is a perfect example of the beauty of Al Anderson's playing, and it showcases excellent phrasing, emotion, dynamics, and different types of Hendrixian hammer-ons and pull-offs. So what I mean by that is when you hear things like this, where the hammer-on is actually revolving around a double stop, and it gets that dissonance in the background. To me, that's very reminiscent of something Jimi Hendrix would have done throughout all of his playing. So another technique that I wanted to point out to you guys is when Al Anderson is doing bends, sometimes he'll employ a fourth in the background. So if he's going to bend a D note, for instance, instead of just using a single note, he'll bring the fourth in, which is the G, to reinforce the tonality of this note choice. And that brings out a lot of emotion within the playing. So there's a middle section of this lead that really stands out using this technique. And when he wants to build emotion within the song, he brings those fourths into his playing. So check out this quick example. It's almost as if he's trying to make the guitar cry or speak some kind of emotion. Essentially what he's doing is he's making the guitar speak in lyric. He could have done something very simple as, but this is way more emotional than just the singular note choices. Another really cool pattern in this song is the build-up at the end that utilizes slides. And if you notice, there's a lot of dynamics in here. It's not just one emotion. It's almost as if you're kind of having a conversation with somebody. So where there's that pause, which is also kind of like a thought in between that run. So to me, there's a lot of great playing within this one solo. So let's take a moment and just check out this entire solo section from the song No Woman, No Cry. I wanted to showcase this clip from the movie I Am Legend. Not only do they play the song Three Little Birds, which we went over in the beginning of the video, but he gives a great example of a famous quote by Bob Marley. And this quote is a great example of why Bob Marley is more relevant today than ever before. To lighten up the darkness.
He had this idea, it was kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives. One day he was scheduled to perform at a peace rally. Gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang. Somebody asked him why. He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I? Light up the darkness.
So that's it for this week's video. I hope some of the techniques that we talked about throughout help some of you guys. And if nothing else, hopefully it just provided some entertainment as we get through this lockdown together. The idea behind this video was a little bit of a different approach for me, and it wasn't my usual gear demo. So if this is something that you guys would like to see more often, please comment below and let me know some of your thoughts and maybe some ideas on what videos you'd like to see. Until next time, be safe, be happy, and be well. Take care, guys.